the Washington Commanders may have a secret weapon on their hands. And no, this is not a young player. This is a guy that's been around the league for a while, and he now finds himself on the Washington Commanders roster, competing to be on the 53-man roster. So, before we get into today's video, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. On the road to 2,000, I cannot do it without you. Hit that notification bell as well. If you want to become a channel member, the link is down in the description. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's video. There is a 32-year-old named, of course you guys know who I'm talking about, Chris Moore, on this Commanders roster currently. He's going to head into training camp with the team. He's been doing so good so far during the offseason. He has been one of the many standouts in mandatory minicamp. He has been the biggest standout, actually. I'll go as far as to say that. He has been a guy that no one saw doing this. No one expected it to come. Chris Moore, being an outside wide receiver, people don't notice the lack of depth we have at outside receiver. What if Chris Moore is a dark horse to make this roster? He's been doing so well in the Commanders offseason stuff so far that it leads me to believe that he could make this roster. He's a veteran guy. He's been around the league a while. In 2016, he played with Baltimore. He had 46 yards. In 2017, he played with Baltimore, 248 yards. 2018, played with Baltimore, 196 yards. 2019, 21 yards. 2021 with the Texans, he had 227 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2022 with the Texans, 548 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2023 with the Titans, 424 yards. This is no stranger to the NFL. Chris Moore has been around for a while, and he's found himself landed on the Commanders roster currently. He's been through the offseason program so far, and this is a name that I've been hearing repeatedly. Like, every time the offseason's brought up in some fashion, I hear the name Chris Moore. Everyone's talking about this guy. And I just hear, him as a dark horse to make this roster, and nobody thought it would happen. But when you ask people probably their biggest standout, a lot of them say Chris Moore. John Keim said it. There was a guy, I think Logan Paulson said Chris Moore has been doing well. All the major Commanders reporters have been saying Chris Moore is looking really good. And he's wearing 19 now. He hasn't been seen until 2023. I mean, that was the last time he's seen. Didn't play last year. Kind of like a Michael Gallup. Like, Michael Gallup's had success in his career. We've seen him do things. Chris Moore, he had a 500-yard season, as I read to you. He's obviously not as established as Michael Gallup, but he found his way on the Commanders roster, and there might be a legit shot for him to make this roster. Now, if it comes down to him or a guy like, what's his name? Ja'Cory Brooks. If it comes down to one of them two, they're probably going to pick Ja'Cory Brooks because he's younger. But Chris Moore, he's using his veteran experience during these processes, this offseason process, and he has found himself in a competitive role to make this roster, and nobody thought he would be here, right? No one thought Chris Moore would be able to find himself in a spot to be able to potentially make the roster. He's not really a practice squad guy. He's put up good years in the NFL. So he's played for multiple different teams. He's played for the Texans, like I said. Is this the guy that played for the? I wonder if he played for the Cardinals. Let me see. So, did he play for the Cardinals? Chris Moore. I don't see that he played for the Cardinals, but there's a guy online that I'm finding that says he played for the Cardinals. He's played for many different teams. He has that veteran experience. He's been in places that you want these guys to be in, right? He has experience, good experience. Him and Jayden Daniels, like, I've seen videos of Chris Moore getting reps with Jayden Daniels. Normally, these guys that aren't really doing well in these offseason programs or not projected to make the starting roster, the 53-man roster, they don't really get reps with the starting quarterback. Like, normally, you'd expect to see Chris Moore getting reps with Josh Johnson, with Sam Hartman, with guys like Marcus Mariota. But he's catching balls from Jaden Daniels. Pause. And so it's really surprising. He must be doing that well. So this is a name that you're going to want to listen to. Like, this is a name that I've been hearing circling around. This is a guy that can still do it at a high level in the NFL. He's been training like a freak, it seems, because he didn't even play last year. I mean, he's back now in the NFL, and he's trying to make this roster. And like I said, we don't have the most depth at the outside receiver position. Especially, he's been able to take control of Terry not being there. Deebo Samuel, he's mostly a slot wide receiver. Noah Brown got hurt. He's our only other outside receiver. You have Ja'Cory Brooks playing at outside receiver, but like, who else do you have? So Chris Moore has been able to step in here and be a guy that's taken advantage of the Terry McLaurin not being there and the Noah Brown getting hurt. Those are two outside receivers, you know. It would be different if a guy like Luke McCaffrey got hurt or Jalen Lane got hurt because they're slot guys, and that's not where Chris Moore plays. So it's interesting to see how well he's doing this offseason. He's taken advantage of these guys being injured or Terry McLaurin's holdout. So this is what this offseason's all about, comparing players to other players, finding these hidden gems, and maybe the Commanders have struck gold with a guy that's been around the league for a while, and he's getting pretty old. Maybe he can give you a few good seasons. Maybe he's ready to play. Jaden Daniels also elevates his wide receivers play. So we'll have to see what he ends up doing if he makes this roster. But if he does make this roster, it's a name to watch for sure. Might not get much playing time, but Chris Moore has just been the guy that I've heard over and over and over and over again mention this offseason. So I would definitely watch Chris Moore if you're a Commanders fan. You have to keep an eye on these guys. Like, training camp is going to be a big time for him. You can't really name a standout guy until you put pads on. So I guess I'm not going to call Chris Moore a standout, but he's been doing really well this offseason. It's a name to watch. Once we put the pads on, if he still continues to impress, that's when his name's going to come up even more. That's when everybody's going to start talking about him even more. So we're going to have to watch out for Chris Moore. That's a name I'm really intrigued by. Once we put the pads on, we'll see what he can do, all right? We'll see if he can go deep. We'll see if he can catch. We'll see with the defense on him, can he actually do stuff? Or was this just a fluky offseason, no pads, no defense type thing for Chris Moore? But I have been hearing he's impressing, and I've been hearing that by the big sources, like I've said. So that's going to do it for me. You guys have a great one. Not sure when this is going to be uploaded. This is a pre-recorded video. I'll be at the beach all next week. So you guys have a great one. Chris Moore is a name to watch. You need to watch for him. All right. Hail to the Washington Commanders. As always, peace.